Yo, what's up guys? It's Eli back with another video. Now, I just want to say I don't have the best setup right now. I'm in my apartment and I don't have my tripod with me, so my camera's just kind of sitting on my desk. So, apologies for the camera placement. Anyways, I'm back with another video. I haven't uploaded in a while just because I've been so busy. I'm working with App State football and basketball as a creative, so I've been really busy. But with football season finally winding down and basketball season ramping up, I thought what better time than to make a color grading video for basketball, indoor sports as a whole, not just basketball. In this video, I'm going to be doing most of my color grading in Davinci Resolve, or all of it in Davinci Resolve, I should say. But I know a lot of you like to color grade in Premiere and edit in Premiere. So if you do that, I would highly recommend color grading your videos in Davinci Resolve and then editing in Premiere. I edit and color grade in Davinci Resolve, but it's just because I switched and started color grading Davinci and then decided I liked it. So if you don't already do that, download the free version of Davinci Resolve and follow along with the color grading, because color grading Davinci Resolve is just so much better. Now, I'm going to show you two ways that you can color grade your videos. One is literally going to take 5 seconds, and the second is going to be how to manually color grade it. The first one I'm going to show you is how to use my new LUT that I just dropped. It's called the Basketball LUT. Now, obviously, it works great for basketball, but like I said, you can also use it for any indoor sport, and the link will be in the description if you do want to go check it out and pick it up. It would help me out a lot, and it's a really good LUT, and I'm going to show you it right now. So without further ado, let's hop into Davinci Resolve. So I'm in Davinci right here. You can see I already have my clip. This is from when we played Wisconsin. So the lighting in the arena was pretty good, but no matter what arena you're in, this LUT will work. I've tested it in Wisconsin arena, I've tested it in ours, I've tested it in high school gyms, and it works like a charm in all of those. So make sure you overexpose your image by 2 stops. So if you're shooting in S-Log3, you want that little thing at the bottom to be saying +2 but not blinking. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you don't know what S-Log3 is or how to shoot an S-Log3, then go watch a different video on how to shoot an S-Log3 and then come back to this video and continue on color grading with me. So I shot this in S-Log3, like I said. So this LUT is made for Sony cameras, and I'm going to be color grading Sony footage. So even if you're on a different camera, the LUT might not work as well for you, but you can still follow along the same process. So the one thing I do really like about Davinci Resolve is they have a whole color grading tab. So if you come over here to the color tab, it will bring up your color space. So the first thing you want to do before you start color grading is come down here to the settings in the bottom right, go to color management, and make sure your timeline color space and your output color space both say Rec 709A. Now the reason for this is because you want, when you export your video to your phone, you want it to look the same way that you saw it on your computer screen, and that's the best way that I've figured out how to do it so far. So starting with your blank gray dull image, you're going to hit Option S in Davinci Resolve, and that is going to bring up a node. So a node is basically kind of like layers in Premiere Pro. So this is my first node. Now with my LUT, all you need is one node. So you're going to look up the basketball LUT once you've bought the LUT and drag it on, and now you automatically have a colored image. So you can see the before and the after here. Now, if you want to make adjustments, if your white balance is a little off, you just come down here to temperature and you can just adjust it ever so slightly to match what you think is good. And then as you can see, your video is colored and it looks great. So yeah, that's as easy as it is to use the LUT. So if you have the LUT, that's all you need to do. But if you don't have the LUT and you don't want to buy the LUT, then I'm going to show you how to manually color grade. So I'm going to delete that node, and we're going to make 5 new nodes. So we're going to hit Option S 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I have my 5 nodes here. So you're going to go to your last node, your 5th node, and you're going to come up here to Effects and find Color Space Transform and drag that on to your last node. So what this is going to do is get your image into a Rec 709 form. So it's going to take it from S-Log3 and convert it to Rec 709. So in Davinci, it will automatically do it for you if you do your input color space as Sony S-Game at 3.cine, because I shot on a Sony camera, and then your input gamma is going to be S-Log3 because that's the picture profile that I shot in. So now you can see that it doesn't look as bad as it did, but it still doesn't look great. So my white balance is pretty clearly a little off, so we're going to come back to the first node, and that's going to be my white balance node. So to change your white balance, you come down here to this dropper, and it will literally say white balance. If you hover over it, click it, and just click a white area in your image. So his jersey is white. I clicked on that and it fixed my white balance for me automatically. So if I turn that off, you can hit Command D to turn off nodes. So I'll turn that off. You can see it before and there's after. So that's all I'm going to do on this first node. That's it for my white balance. Now I'm going to go to the second node. Now my second node is just exposure. So if you come down here at the bottom right, you can find waveform, and this is going to show you like how your image is exposed. And you want it to look pretty in the middle, kind of like it does here. And you don't want anything to be way up here or way down here because that means it's clipping and something's too bright or too dark. So mine is pretty good. I'm just going to raise it just a little bit, and then I forgot to say, offset is basically your exposure. That's like your whole image exposure. So offset is what you want to mess with. You can just drag this left or right. And then obviously you have your highlights, midtones, and shadows. So those are pretty self-explanatory. Your highlights are just your bright spots in your image, and your shadows are your dark spots in your image. Your midtones are literally what it says, your midtones. Now, if you don't see these specifically, you might see this, lift, gamma, gain, and offset. They're basically the same thing, but I like when mine says shadow, midtone, highlights, and offset. So to switch that, just make sure you hit this little wheel with the log thing down here, and then it will bring up this. So to change your exposure, just move your offset up a little bit, and I think that looks pretty good. Now, in order to mess with my highlights and shadows, instead of messing with the actual wheels, I like to use the curves. So if you hit this button right here, this will bring up the curves, and then hit these three dots and hit editable splines. So a good like starter for curves is to make a slight S curve. So if I click here, it's going to bring up this handle, and I want to just bring my highlights up just a little bit. You can see you don't want anything to be way up here, and then I'm going to click in this corner, and I'm going to bring my shadows down just to give my image that nice contrast. So if I turn that off and on, you can see the difference in the contrast and the exposure. It's not a lot, but it's enough to make a noticeable difference. So that's all I'm going to do for those nodes for now. So if I go to the third node, this is where the actual grade takes place. So I like to first of all isolate my skin tones because your skin tones are really important when color grading. So if you hit Option L, that'll make a layer node underneath this node, and that is how you're going to separate your skin tones. So if you come to this dropper over here, this is your qualifier. So if I click on the skin tones, nothing's going to happen until you hit Shift H on your keyboard, and now it's going to show you just what's selected. So if you mess with these things right here, then you're going to be able to like kind of isolate your skin tones. Just kind of get just your skin tone selected as much as possible. So that's about as close as I'm going to get. You can see the floor is going to be selected a little bit just because it's the same color. And then to soften it up a little bit, we're going to come down here to clean black. We're going to raise that a pretty good amount. And then we're going to go to blur radius and also raise that a pretty good amount. So now everything's pretty soft and nothing's going to be splotchy when you're trying to color grade it. So now that we've done that, you're going to hit Shift H, turn that off. And then we're going to come back down here to waveform, and you're going to hit vector scope. So your vector scope is basically showing you like the colors of your image. So if you don't see this line right here, come up to this thing and you're gonna hit show skin tone indicator, and that's what this line is. It's your skin tone indicator. So you want your skin tones to be aligned with this. So if I come down here to hue, I'm just gonna mess with the hue until my skin tones are basically on that line, which right there they are. So my skin tones are where they need to be for my video, and those are good. So now that we've done that, we can come back up here to our third node, and we can mess with everything else. So whatever we do on this node will affect everything except for our skin tones, which is what we want. So I'm going to saturate the rest. You can see I'm going to saturate the reds a little bit. I might bring the temperature down just a little bit more because I think it's a little warm. And then I'm going to come over here to my shadows, and I'm going to move my shadows towards teal a little bit because you want that teal orange look, or at least I do for this grade. And I think that makes it look kind of cinematic. So my highlights I'm going to bring up to orange a little bit. Now we have that teal orange look. So that's a pretty good grade so far, I think. If you want to change any other individual colors, I like to come over here to this little spiderweb looking thing. And then where it says 6, we're going to click on that and make it 24 just so we have more room to work with. And then if you hover over your image, you'll see you have a dropper. So you can like literally just click on the red and drag it and change the saturation, color, whatever you want for that. So we obviously don't want the Wisconsin red to be purple, so I'm going to just leave it kind of how it is. I think it looks fine. But if you want to do that, that's how you do that. So we're going to go to our next node, and this node is kind of a wild card. You can kind of do whatever you want on here, but a lot of the times I use it for sharpening. So on the free version of Davinci, the best way to do that is to come over here to this little blur tool, and then under radius, you want to just drag this down a little bit, just barely. That'll sharpen up your image just a little bit. A lot of the times, like these Sony cameras don't really need too much sharpening, but I'll go down to like 0.47, and that usually looks pretty good. So if I turn this off, you can see that's before and that is after. After all that work, you get a good image, but it is worth it. It's what makes or break your videos, literally. But yeah, if you don't want to do all this work, like I said, you can just make one node, drag and drop my LUT on there if you buy it, and it still looks really good. So I hope this video helped you out. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to respond to all the comments. Sometimes I get a little busy and can't respond to all of them, but let me know if you have any questions, and I'll do my best. But yeah, I hope this helped you out. If you do want to check out my LUT, the link will be in the description, and it just dropped, brand new. It's really good. Go check it out. Go buy it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.